Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel, Kono Pro. Today we got a quick little cool video I threw together for you, and what we're basically be doing in this back bonus room on a property here is we're going to be doing some metallic polyurethane coating at the end of the project. But the main highlight of the project is going to be a really cool little bar. Okay, it's an awesome little pallet style bar, and we're going to be doing a wall unit as well. We're going to be using 1x8 dog-eared fence planks. We're going to be cutting off the dog ears so everything's a butt joint, and then we're going to be using 2x4s, standard 2x4s from your local hardware to build the bar, and then also some 2x8 to build the bar countertop. And then on that back wall, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be mounting the cedar dog-eared fence plank, butt jointed all up against the wall, staggered joints. And then we're going to be framing it out with some really cool old school Doug fir that I salvaged from a house that I'm remodeling. So what we have here is a little setup. We got our table saw, we got our chop saw. I got my table planer in the back so I can plane some of this old lumber. See, that's the old lumber right there. That's some original 2x4s. If you take apart or remodel one of these old California houses, you'll see that there's original 2x4s, and if you measure them, they're actually 2 inches by 4 inches, and that's a piece of floor joist, 2x6, so it's actually 2 inches by 6 inches. And if you go to the local hardware store and you get some lumber and you want to get a 2x4, it'll actually be 1.5 by 3.5, so but that old stuff right there is 2 inches by 4 inches, and that's some really old wood that it's been around for a long time. It's been in this house for almost 100 years, so I figured I'd salvage it. Really nice pieces, and it's going to give some cool accent to that back wall unit, right? It has some rough hewn edges, it has some nail holes, it has a lot of character. That's really cool wood. So we figured we'd utilize that and put it into this build, and I really love the way it comes out. So if you see right here, that's a standard 2x4 from your local hardware store, and it's 1.5 inches by 3.5, but on the shelf it'll say 2x4. And then, but that's the old stuff, and it really was 2x4 back in the day. And the reason why is because before they started regulating all the harvesting of the forest and all the cutting down of the trees, they would just cut it at 2x4, 2x4. But then they're like, oh no, we're running out of trees, so we need to cut things down. So they trimmed it down to 1.5 by 3.5. So that's basically what all our stock is now. There's no true 2x4s anymore, unless you just custom order it or special order it from like a mill or something. So here we are. I'm just going to throw my corners together, and on this video, like I say, I'm using 2x4 Doug fir just for the bar, and then I'm going to throw some horizontal cedar fence planks on there to give it some real awesome character. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. There's going to be some tips as we go through the video of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and please enjoy. Thank you so much, everybody. Always double check your layout before you start nailing everything together. And what we're doing here is we're going to nail everything together with a 16 gauge brad nailer with 2-inch brad nails. And then we're going to go back through in a little bit here, and we're going to resecure everything with some screws, some zinc plated standard construction grade screws. And what we'll do is we'll countersink with the pilot those screws, and then we'll lock in all those screws, and it'll keep everything strong. But make sure you remember to use your square everything back, and make sure your measurements are even on each side. And when I say pallet style, I mean it almost looks like it's pallets thrown together, but we're not really using pallets. But obviously I'm using Doug fir, I'm going to use cedar fence plank, but it'll have sort of that feel. But there it is. Make sure everything's square and level. And I like to keep, like if you see my horizontal members about 1/4 inch off the ground. There it is, bam. Now I'm going through with my countersink and pilot and setting all my holes, and then I'll go back through and screw everything in with my 2.5 inch screws. And I'm actually using an impact 21 volt cordless drill, impact drill. Now that that's all locked together and tight, I'm going to throw a little shelf across some of those horizontal members, and then after I get that shelf in, I'll check it for strength by jumping on top of it. It's one of my methods. Oh yeah. And then after that, we're going to go through and we're going to start cutting all our dog-eared fence planks. Okay, make sure when you cut your fence planks, it's the sizes you need, and it's so you don't have to double cut everything. Okay, measure twice, cut once. That's how we do it. All right, what I'm using here is a 15 gauge brad nailer. All right, this is a 15 gauge, and I like to use a heavier nail to shoot in the the fence planks, because we're not going to go through and countersink those. So we want those nails to be a little bit of a stronger gauge to hold in the fence plank. And I went ahead and used my table saw to cut some little 2.5 inch rippers, little pieces to fill in the bottom. And I actually go back through and cut some 3.5 inch pieces to sort of give it a baseboard at the end of the project, and that'll cover that seam. And then here's my countertops. So basically what I took is some standard 2x8 Doug fir from your local hardware store. I ran it through my planer a couple times, left some of the live edges for character, sanded everything down with some 100 grit, then I hit it with some 220. And now we're going to install it, and I'm making sure all my measurements and all my screws are going to be placed evenly when I lock it all in. So when I patch everything and they put a clear coat, all my holes and everything looks cosmetic. It looks all even in geometrical. Bam, now that the bar is built, we're going to go ahead and start working on the wall unit here pretty soon. Make sure everything's leveled and good, and you countersink all your screws, right? So you leave room to put in some wood filler. And got to give it that signature test to make sure it can hold your weight, because you never know who's going to be getting up on top of a bar. Nice. Now we're going to start rocking on this wall unit. So first off, we want to find our stud layout, and then we're going to level up on all our studs. That way we have backing when we install our 1x8 dog-eared fence plank, butt jointed. All right, and then after we run all of the fence planking against that back wall, stagger the joints too. We're going to, like I say, we're going to frame it out with that cool old school Doug fir, and then we're going to run like a bottom piece, that old floor joist, Doug fir floor joist. It's going to run as a little mini bar that's going to cap the bottom of this wall unit, and it's going to run from that right side wall to the left side of the bar. Here we go. I'm using some again brad nails, and then 16 gauge, and I'm using 2 inch, so it's going through 3/4 plus 5/8 drywall, and then a little meat into the 2x4. Okay, once we have all this done, we're going to run that cool 2x4 frame. Nice. Now we're just finishing off with that old school Doug fir that I salvaged, and I ran it through my planer, cleaned it up, of course, from any nails, and just gave it a little bit of love. And then we ran our top plate and our left side and our right side, and then we finished off with our vertical members in the middle, and make sure they're all even and laid out evenly. And then we attached that bottom piece. As you can see, it's already on there, and I ran that through the planer about 2 times on each side, and then gave it a light sanding on the edge, and then hit the top of it with 220 to make it real smooth. But all those top members and all that vertical stuff and the horizontal on the top, we left it pretty raw, so it gave it some raw, some character. And after we have everything leveled out, we're going to throw our little shelves in, which is basically more of this 2x4, original 2x4, old school. That's real 2" x 4. Gives it some character. And we're going to run those as our horizontal members to, like, you know, they can be there to hold wine bottles and cool rustic old signs or whatever. There it is, everybody. Finished product right there. You can see how I put basically the base on the bottom, and then I trimmed out the sides right there. And I basically just took some more of that dog-eared fence plank and cut down pieces the size I needed for with my table saw for the edges and everything. Put an edge on that left vertical piece right there to clean that edge up so you don't see the side of the fence planks. And then there it is. Bam! That's how you do it. They're going to give it like a little cool stain and clear coat it. That's not going to be us. We are just here to do that carpentry. But we are going to do some baseboards and then the floors next. And it's just going to be a couple quick clips of me doing it real fast. But the main highlight was this bar. You see how the back, it sort of looks like pallet style, you know, and then the front, it's like pallet style, but a lot cleaner than using pallets. And this is really strong and it'll last forever. But down there on the left side, what I do is I put 2 pieces of angle and some anchors, and I anchor it into the concrete there, so that way that left side doesn't move. And then it's only attached to that pony wall back there, a couple screws on the top of the pony wall, and it's really secure. It's not going anywhere. But there it is, everybody. Yeah. I did countersink screws and everything to make sure everything was locked down on that framing too. FYI. All right, now we're throwing some baseboard in real quick. And just some simple baseboards. And I do have an existing video on our channel, Kono Pro, that shows how to install baseboards. So if you want to go back to that and see how I install the baseboards, it'll give you a little more detailed knowledge on how to do that. But after I get all these banged in, I'm just going to throw in some metallic copper pot polyurethane floor coating. There it is. Gorgeous. Now that's gonna self-level overnight, and then when you come back the next day, it's gonna look gorgeous. And then you can just do a light touch-up on that baseboard. Those baseboards haven't been painted. They're gonna paint the walls and everything, and once you do that, it's gonna be clean. All right, hope you enjoy the project. We appreciate you all. Please give us a thumbs up on this project and share us with your social media, and spread the knowledge. Kono Pro, let them know we're out there. Please, we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Kono Pro out. Peace.